Oh. सदाशिव समारंभां शंकराचार्य मध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्य पर्यन्तां वंदे गुरु परंपराम् Vasudeva Sutta. Sorry. I get into the Gita mode, right? So it's a little shift now. That's because it is Bhagwan Ram's stuti. So we start with Vasudeva Suttam is Bhagwan, right? Now it is Lokaviram. Lokaviramam Ranarangadhiram Rajivanetram Raghuvanshanatham कारुण्यरूपं करुणाकरन्तं श्रीरामचन्द्रं शरणं प्रपद्ये श्रीरामचन्द्रं शरणं प्रपद्ये हरि ओम. So again, welcome to the next continuing in the Ram Katha. This is Ram Katha. So as I said, like Chitubai said Jai Shri Krishna, I said Jai Shri Krishna, then Jai Shri Ram. And then all of a sudden I was saying Vasudeva Sutam Deva because it was in Krishna mode. So I'll just share a small incident and we'll get into Ram Katha related to that because it just happened. So Tulsidas ji, he once visited. This is not off the track, but it is on the same track because Ramcharitmanas is Ram Katha. It's like that. So Tulsidas ji once went to Mathura, and somebody says, "Ki Mathura, please come to Mathura sometime. We have darshan. I mean, you always talk of Bhagwan Ram's darshan. They have the Krishna Bhagwan's darshan too." So he said, "Yeah, well, I mean, Bhagwan Ram, I am happy. Well, no, no, just come. Bhagwan Krishna also beautiful, decorated, just like Shangar." And so Tulsidas ji went there. So it is like it is recorded somewhere. So Tulsidas ji look at Bhagwan Krishna's murti and just he bowed down and say a, a doha, he said. He said, "Kaha kahon chavi aapki, bhale virajo nath." Means you're looking beautiful, Bhagwan Krishna. It's mukut and everything. So he said, "Kaha kahun chavi aapki." Chavi means the beautiful decorated alankar. Bhale virajo nath. बड़ा अच्छा लग रहा है. You're established well. तुलसी मस्तक नमत है, धनुष बाण लो हाथ. मुरली थी उनके हाथ में, पंख. So तुलसीदास से तुलसी मस्तक नमत है, धनुष बाण लो हाथ. And it is said, people recorded, and तुलसीदास जी आंख बंद करके आंख खोली उन्होंने तो भगवान के हाथ में धनुष आ गया. तो उन्होंने फिर दोहा कंप्लीट किया. ही सेड कित मुरली कित चंद्रिका. दैट चंद्रिका में तो मोर पंख है, मुरली. कित वो गायब हो गए. कित मुरली कित चंद्रिका, कित गैयन के साथ. जो आसपास वो काउस थे, दे ऑल गॉन. तुलस अपने जन के कारणे श्री कृष्ण भय रघुनाथ. तो भगवान ने कहा, तुलसी ने बोला भगवान राम बन जाता, राम बन जाते हैं. सो इट्स लाइक दैट. हम लोग व्हेन वी आर इन राम कथा, इट इज द सेम थिंग. हमारे अंदर से तो राम कृष्ण एक ही निकलते हैं. So with that we'll continue from last week. So last week we saw little more about the Ramayana. First session we talked about just the Mahatma. Second session we talked about a little bit of history also. So very quickly we'll recap. Ramayana, there are two things we are studying together. Ramayana, which is Ramasya Ayanam. Ramasya means Ram's, Ayanam is journey. So that become Ramayana. So Valmiki ji titled it Ramayana because he saw it. Ram is going from Ayodhya to this, and he was a contemporary, so he's recording the what is happening there. So he said Ramayana, Ramasya Ayanam, journey. But look at this, that is thousands of years ago. Now Tulsidas ji and many other, but Tulsidas ji especially, he's writing 500 years ago. And this is a whole different time frame. The movement was, because Ramayana, when Valmiki ji wrote, it was mostly Karun, Ras, Veer Ras, couple of things. But Tulsidas ji added Bhakti Ras into that. So he retitled it. And we'll read somewhere, we'll move forward. he retitled based on his Chintan. He said, it is Ram's journey, that's fine, but for me, it is not Ram's journey. It is Ram's Charit is sitting in my Manas. Manas means mind. Actually, he has used Shivji saying that, but it's Tulsidaji's words. As he said, Ram Charit is sitting in my Manas, and that is it is Ram Charit Manas. So he has moved from, so that's what it is, not just a script of what is happening, it is a katha, which has emotions, which has bhav, and which he got the freedom to, but the core remains the same. It is both Ram Charitra or Ram's journey, but he has titled it Ram Charitmanas. So we saw that, right? So like again, last time we saw that there is always a Phal Shruti. So we should remember, why do we read Ramayana for all these years? Any other Shastra, but there is a Phal Shruti always. So for Ramayana, we saw Valmiki ji has written, actually Sut ji said, which Valmiki ji has written, that Dharma, Arth, Kam, Mokshanam, Sadhanam, that is Ramayana. So it is a sadhan, it is an instrument. Sadhan for us is a means, basically. So it's a means to Dharma, Artha, Kam, Moksha. That is the Purusharth. That is our Vedic system of fulfilling the life. Purusharth means fulfilling the life. So Valmiki ji said, Sut ji said, Dharma, Artha, Kam, Mokshanam, Sadhanam, Shrotavyam Bhaktya. But the condition is always written at the end. Agar if you hear Shrotavyam, Bhaktya, with that Bhakti Bhav. See, even that time, he was not mentioning the Bhakti movement, but the word Bhaktya, he has used that. If you hear that with Bhakti Bhav, then it becomes Moksha Sadhan. It is not academic exercise like lots of people have. And this is one reason I particularly read Bhagavad Gita, not Bhagavad Gita, also in Ramayana, to make sure that people, especially the newer generation, or some people who have no clue, because I talk to a lot of non-Hindus, I go to in a lot of interfaith forums. Sometimes they call me in universities also. And if I don't present the right view, then yeah, it's my responsibility. They'll come up with some logic. Oh, we heard Ramayana, this happened. Here is the answer. So that is the reason. So Shrotavyam Bhaktya. So hum logon ke liye it is not academic exercise. Yeah, we need to read and correct, but for it is Bhakti Shastra. And then forward Dharma, Artha, Kam, Mokshana. But Tulsidas ji has further put some Bhakti Ras in that. And look at that, almost the same shlok which was written by Tulsidas ji has Sanskrit only, not Avdi, Sanskrit. He says, Ramcharit Manasam idam bhaktya gayanti. If this is Ramcharit Manas, idam, this one. He's saying not Ramayana, he's saying Ramcharit Manasam. Bhaktya gayanti. Gayanti means going deep inside, taking a deep dive into this. Ye manava, those people who do take a deep dive in Ramcharit Manas, it is Man Sarovar also. Mind is like, he's imagining mind is a Sarovar. So he said, and the Sarovar is full of Ramcharitra. And if you take a deep dive into this, ye manava. So what happens? Just like he says, Dharma, Artha, Kam, Mokshanam. Here Tulsidas is saying, Sansar Patang Ghaur Kirne. Like the sun, Patang is sun. So Sansar is like sun, and the Kirne, rays, like sun rays are very hot, and I mean, if you are not careful, they'll burn you. So न दह्यंती. So ये this संसार की जो किरणें हैं, जो like the adversaries of sansar, we can say, or difficulties of sansar, न दह्यंती. This person doesn't get burned by those. So simple as this, the Ram Bhakt doesn't get burned by the sufferings of this world. That is the bottom line. So same thing they said. Tulsidas ji has made a lower bhav into that. So Ramcharit Manasam idam bhaktya gayanti ye manava sansar patang ghor kiranena dahyanti. And it is true. If I know some who do that, I do Ramji's Ram Nam meditation, or not meditation, I do Ram Nam Dhyan. It helps, right? We all know that. Otherwise, it would not have survived for so long. So that is the Phal Shruti, and we should all keep that in mind whenever we are reading Ramayana. It is not for us just a history book or some academic exercise sitting in the library or discussion. Yeah, of course, we can discuss on Ramayana when needed, But when reading in solitude, alone, is a sadhan. We should read is as a shastra. Bhagwan ka charitra is like that. It is not academic exercise. So yeah, so that's what we last time we talked about. We'll move forward with today with further. So again, it is Ram Katha and Ramayana, both journey, right? So we'll move to a little bit. I'll read from Valmiki Ramayana set. So in we are in Balkand, and again I said these all title for a reason, but Valmiki ji is not saying some can't. He's just writing, right? He's journey. So in Balkand, uh, those devtas, they went to Brahmaji, which is always the case. I mean, every time we say, then there is a trouble, go to Brahmaji. So this is all our Rishi Munis, I don't know, their imagination, or it, they can manifest those imagination, that there is always a help available. Go to right people. So go to Brahmaji. And they ask Brahmaji, say, ki, there is a demon called Ravan. The Ravan's introduction has come before Ram-Janma in Valmiki Ramayana, way before. And they are saying, so, Tena Gandharva Yakshanam Devtanam cha Rakshasam Avadhyo Asmiti Vagukta Tathe Yuktam cha Tanmaya. And they told Varmaji that the Ravan has got a boon, and he cannot be killed by, he's troubling everyone. He's like left and right, and he's capturing all. We saw the story. He captured, the Lanka was Kuber's kingdom, Kuber Ravan's cousin. He took Lanka from Kuber, and he wanted to take everything. The Dandakar and the whole forest belongs to him. That's why we'll see Shurpanakha goes and says that, oh, this is my brother's place. Everything Ravan says, I'll capture that. So they are saying, and we heard Brahmaji that you gave him a boon. And Brahmaji said, yeah, I did. I gave him a boon. But Brahmaji says, but one thing happened. He asked me, I should not be killed by Gandharva. Gandharva Yaksh means celestial beings. Right? Neither by Devtas nor by Rakshas. None of them should be able to kill me. And Brahmaji says, one thing he forgot. He never said human being. Because he said, I'm the most powerful human being. So I don't care about human being. Ravan, look at it. Ravan was thinking a human being cannot touch me, right? Anyway, I'm like, only thing Yaksh or Devtas can kill me, or some Rakshas, powerful than me. So and Brahmaji says, Tathastu, because he was doing. So Brahmaji said, now I remember one condition he never asked for. So that is the solution. So Devtas say, ki solution kya? Here is a solution. Now we need a nar who can be powerful. Then they said, oh, where will get a nar like that? Because Ravan is so powerful. So he says, Vishnu ji ki stuti karo. So Vishnu ji ki pratna kari, Vishnu ji. That's what Ramayana, I think Vishnu ji comes. He said, what? He said, here is the condition. So can you fulfill? He said, well, how can I fulfill? He said, oh, nar, he said he can be killed by a nar. He didn't care. But now that is, if some nar comes, so Vishnu ji said, nar comes is what? So there's a pratna. तो एक श्लोक आता है उसमें, सकृत्वा निश्चयं विष्णु रामंत्र च पितामहम अंतर्धानम गतो देवे पूज्यमानो महर्षिभिः. So now Vishnu ji says, there will be, I heard that Dashrath Raja is looking for a son. And Dashrath ji was planning that time. We'll see when we forward. And Vishnu ji realized that he is looking for a son. So here is an opportunity. So what I can do, I can come to his or wife's womb as a son, and I can be born as a human being. So that is what Bhagwan's avatar. So we, in our Shastra, the Avatar movie, if I heard multiple interviews of James Cameron, who created Avatar. Now it is third series, and he has very clearly said, I was very influenced by the Indian ancient character. He says mythology, but anyway, the wrong term. But he must have read all, he said, I read all Vishnu Puran kind of thing. That's why the whole character he created, blue color avatar. And the word also he has taken from there. So Bhagwan takes avatar when it is needed. So that's what Bhagwan says. I heard, and then that Bhagwan, Vishnuji then went away. So this is only thing referred in Valmiki Ramayana. Ravana was there in the beginning. Because of Ravana, to remove Ravana, Bhagwan, because Ravana has condition. So Bhagwan says, I'll come as a nar, because that is the only condition he didn't ask for. And that is one reason of Bhagwan Ram's avatar. But that is, of course, like Valmiki ji. But we'll look very quickly into, before we get into Ram-Janma, in Ramcharitmanas. Tulsidas ji has little bit, I mean, again, a lot of people say Tulsidas ji has not twisted things, but he is giving little more, like as we last time talked about script and screenplay. Because when doing katha has to be narrated so that audience can relate to. If you read as it is Sanskrit shlok, and you may not like, that's why Valmiki Ramayana, rarely we hear that, oh, there's a Valmiki Ramayana pravachan going on. Pravachan is Ramcharitmanas only, or Anand Ramayana, or Adhyatma Ramayana, or Kambram, all those stories. And we all know that storytelling is the best art, right? If you have to tell, even corporate world, we they say the same thing. Even CEO, sales guy, they'll create a story. I went there, I found stories always connect with audience. So Tulsidas ji says, it's very nice in Ramcharitmanas, and in Valmiki Ramayana also said that the Ayodhya, last time we saw, Ayodhya was built by Manu Maharaj. It is said. So Tulsidas ji is not bringing any new characters. Now he is saying ki Manu Shatrupa, and he has used the whole, like there are 20, 30 Doha, but I'll read a couple of them. So Manu Shatrupa ji, when they got matured, they gave their Raj to their children, and they say ki we want to move to Vanaprastha. But the Manu Shatrupa going, so Manuji says that, I mean, we have done everything in life, but I want to have darshan of Bhagwan. So how do we get it? So then they started doing some sadhana. Of it happens that Bhagwan is very pleased, and Bhagwan Vishnu, he comes there, right, and says ki I'm very happy with your sadhana. So what can I do for you? Because that is our always there in our shastra, and it is very nice message there, that whenever you, like when we go to mandir, or we go to Satyanarayan Puja, or we go to any, is you bound to get the prasad. And even if the Hindu kids, we are raised like that. If I go to mandir, even if I don't attend the full puja or arti, I'll still want prasad. Because my consciousness says I'm in mandir, I should get prasad. Prasad is not about what is there. Prasad, that is Bhagwan's blessing. So same thing when Bhagwan comes. So Bhagwan came and he says, what can I do for you? So very, very beautiful doha here is that, where Tulsidas ji is saying, Jatha daridra vibudatarupai bahusampati magata sakuchai. It is from the Balkand. Tasu prabhav jana nahi khoi tatha hridayam bamasansay soi. Bhagwan says, what do you want? Ask. So now that Manuji is thinking that I still want something. I mean, I have Bhagwan in front of you. What else? But he says it is the simile metaphor he's giving. He says somebody gets we have the kalpa vraksh, right? Kalpa vraksh means wish fulfilling vraksh. You ask anything and vraksh will give you. That's what we say kalpa. Kalpana kare and then you get it. So he's saying, I'm such a poor in consciousness that now kalpa vraksh ke baad bhi I'm thinking what else I should get. Oh, kalpa vraksh is enough. Kalpvraksh you have, then what else you want? So that's what he's thinking. Oh, Bhagwan is here and I'm still thinking, what should I ask? So Bhagwan said, I said, I don't want. Bhagwan said, no, you have to something. So he said that, bada pyara shlok hai. He says, Teki priti suni bachan amole, eva mastu karunadhini bole. So he says, can you come as my son in next birth? Look at that. What a boon, right? So now Bhagwan says, आप सरिस खोजो कह जाई न पतन तनय होब में आई. Bhagwan says कि can I have a son like you? So Bhagwan is saying here to Sudajit, Bhagwan thinks for a minute and he says कि मेरे जैसा तो कौन होगा? Who else is like mine on this earth? And he's the Manu Shatrupa are smart, right? What a boon they ask. Bhagwan says, who's like me? There is no one like me. So Bhagwan says the only thing I can do is I have to come myself. And he says, then again, the same thing. And Bhagwan says, Tulsidas ji has said that whenever you are born as a Dashrath after few birth, I'll come you're a son. So look at that. Valmiki ji has given a very small that yes, Bhagwan Vishnu said that I'll come to Dashrath's like home or Dashrath's wife's womb. Here, Tulsidas ji has added that flavor, that Manu Shatrupa. They ask for and Bhagwan says come. So that's where Tulsi Rama and Valmiki are. Those were parallel, but Tulsidas ji had the Katha flavor. Manu Shatrupa, they're asking a boon and Bhagwan. So that's the reason Bhagwan came. And he says, तह कहीं भोग विशाल तात गऊं कचुकाल पुनी हो अवध भुआल तब मैं हो तुम्हार सुत. Awadh ke, when you become Awadh, Raja of Awadh, then I'll become your son. So that is the reason Bhagwan has taken avatar. So I mean that's where before Ram-Janma comes, I thought we'll read that. So now we'll go, and we know the story. So I'm not going to read the whole story because we all know, right? Now Vishnu, Dasharath ji asked Rishi, Vaashishtha ji and other rishis, and they came and they did Ashwamedh Yajna and the Putra Kameshti Yajna, because he was said, I want to hand over this kingdom at some point, so I want. And then the Bhagwan Janma happens. We know the story. There are Kheer and so part of Kheer was given to Kaushalya and Kaikeyi and Sumitra. So Bhagwan Ram, Bharat and Lakshman Shatrughan were born to Sumitra because of that share of Kheer. But that's not very significant why, but it is all given in all that. So now it's Bhagwan Ram's Janma has happened. So Vishnu ji says, right? Vishnu Ardhar Mahabhagam Putrek Ikshaku Nandanam Lohitaksham Mahabahum Raktoshtham Dundubhi Swanam. So Valmiki ji has said there are 4 boys born, but his description of Bhagwan Ram, of course, is Ramayana. So what he is saying, Vishnu Roop, that because the Yajna did and Vishnu ji already said that, so Vishnu Roop has to come. So that Yajna, Bhagwan came, and it is said that everybody realized Vishnu ji came as a Yajna Bhagwan with Kheer. So he's saying the Kaushalya has like that, and that he's a Lohitaksham. Lohi means the red one. That's what Lahu word has come, or copper. The Lohi Aksh, red eyes, right? Beautiful eyes. Mahabahum, even the little baby, big arms. Raktoshtham, pink, like this lips. And Dundubhi Swanam. Dundubhi means Rudan, बच्चा है रो रहा है, लेकिन कैसे? Dundubhi means drum, the beat, the beautiful drum beat. Dundubhi means drum. So that उसकी आवाज जो बच्चे की है वो दुंदुभी की तरह है. That's what, and there is a lot of description, but that's what he is describing the baby Ram. So now we have got Bhagwan Ram born to, and he has come for all of us. It is not just for Dashrath. Had Dashrath ji or Manu Shatrupa didn't ask for that boon, we would not be enjoying this Ram Leela or Ram Katha or that character. It is not about just Katha. This character has inspired multiple characters, billions and millions, all of us are inspired by Bhagwan Ram's character. So it is, that's why we read Ramayana, because Manu Shatrupa or Dashrath ji or other people have done to bring Bhagwan to earth as an avatar. So there is slight difference between avatar and Manushya Janma. That's why Bhagwans we say avatar. Avatar means avtaran, descending. We are not descended. We are born based on the karma and prarabdha. So our karma, our janma is Manushya Janma, because based on but Bhagwan doesn't have any karma. Bhagwan doesn't have any karma. So that's why Bhagwan, in spite of taking a Manushya Janma, it is avatar. Because Bhagwan has no baggage. Bhagwan is not here to pay back something, but we are here to pay back our prarabdha. That's why the whole wonderful principle of prarabdha in Hindu Shastra. But Bhagwan has come for a purpose, not to pay back the prarabdha. And purpose, we know that Ravan was the purpose, that's why they asked. So anyway, so Bhagwan Ram is born. We'll just read one incident from Tulsi Ramayana. Valmiki ji doesn't say much about it. Now he says, when they started growing, Bharat Ram and Bharat, Lakshmana, Shatru, and he plays a little bit that they're in childhood they used to play, they used to do like Sandhya Vandanam, all those things he has described. But Tulsidasji has added one flavor because again it is katha, it is so Tulsidasji, there is a artist in Bharat, and he says कि all the Indian movies or drama, whatever India's, doesn't matter which language it is. If you want to bring emotion to that, bring mother into that. माँ अगर भारत में आ जाती है ना किसी भी ड्रामे किसी मूवी में, then it is an emotional thing. So Tulsidas ji also, Valmiki ji doesn't talk about much about Mata. He just mentioned the name. Tulsidas ji talked about the Leela. So there is one incident which is famous. We read all the time, but Tulsidas ji has described it well. So let me read that. A couple of dohe, but not too much. Yeah. So it is incident is that, and we have read it many places that Kaushalya ji is Ram, baby Ram is in the cradle, and she goes and then gives something to eat. And then she goes to the puja ghar, and same thing happened with Krishna ji also. And she says, "Oh, he's sitting there eating something." She said, "I just left him in the cradle, and he's sitting here eating." Then she goes and see the cradle. He's there too, and now she's confused. Oh wow, how can this like Ram is everywhere? Bhagwan wanted to just play his leela. So he says, "I have seen two of them." So then it says that she got fainted. She said, "What is this happening?" Then Bhagwan shows his form, and then Mata says, "Oh, who you are?" So Bhagwan wanted to remind कि अरे भाई तुमने ही बुलाया था मुझे मनुष्य रूपा, so I have come. So now she says, "Oh," then Bhagwan वो स्तुति करती है माता भगवान की, and she says, "But can you become baby again? I see your Vishnu Roop, but I want you to be my baby." So Bhagwan says, "Okay, so that's my promise." So Bhagwan, and there is a whole stuti. अस्तुति करी न जाई भयमाना जगत पिता मैं सुत करी ना जाना हरिजननी बहुविधि समुजाई यह जनि कतहु कहो सुनुमाई. Bhagwan is saying कि I got your stuti and I am now again your putra, not Jagat Pita, but don't tell this to anyone else. That I showed you that Brahma Sarupa. And Bhagavan says, I'll become baby again. So all Tulsidas has described Leela also. Because as we see that it is Katha. He has to bring that emotion. And when you listen to this Katha in India, especially villages and small towns, Kathas are very popular. Even today, Ram Katha. And that's why they'll go to each and every Doha and Chaupai and explain it. And people enjoy that. We have been hearing this for multiple times. So Bhagwan ki Leela. So that's what Bhagwan's Bal Leela was. We'll just so now there is a very significant incident come in Bhagwan Ram's life, which is very not Tulsidas ji doesn't mention much, but Valmiki ji mentioned it, right? Bhagwan Ram is now 16-year-old. And he goes for Tirth Yatra. I'm sure that would have been the tradition in the king's place because these boys have learned everything. These boys have learned like Dhanur Vidya. So there is a shlok here. Ye chapi manujavyagra vedika adhyane rata pitr shushrunarata dhanur vede chanishtita. They are saying ki Manuja Vyagra. These are the lion kings. The Shabd is lion kings. These boys are like, and they have done the Vedic Adhyayan, and at the same time they are doing seva of their pita and Dhanurved. And of course, not only Vedic Adhyayan, Dhanurved, like Dhanurvidya, the art of war. All these they have learned. Mata Pita ki seva, Vedic Adhyayan, like studies, and Dhanurvidya, because they are prince, right? Going to be. So that Valmiki says, and there are a lot of description, but he says all they have learned. But there is an incident when Bhagwan Ram has become 16-year-old, and now he's going for a Tirth Yatra. And when he comes back, all four brothers, once he comes back, it is said that in Valmiki Ramayana, he's sitting in his room and not even talking to anyone. It's kind of udasin mode. So then somebody asks, what happened to Ram? So Bhagwan says that I don't see any sense. I mean, I have some kind of vairagya, which I am not seeing this lot of sense in this sansar. So now it is a concern, right? That so what is this happening? And Vishwamitra ji that time also comes to Dasharath ji's assembly, and we'll see that, right? But Ram is not. It's kind of like despondent. Something similar what happened to Arjun. Arjun, look at now the same thing. So Arjun was a warrior, he was ready to fight everything, and all of a sudden he feels, oh, I'm not ready to fight. I don't want to do this. So that kind of a despondency or vairagya, we in our terms we say vairagya. So Ram ji has the same thing. So then Vaashishtha ji said, Vishwamitra said, Vaashishtha ji, you have to teach Ram. His questions are there, we need to answer. It is exactly same thing happened to Arjun. But only thing, Arjun, Bhagwan was sitting in front of Arjun. Here Bhagwan himself is thinking, I'm not. So there is then Vaashishtha ji took Ramji and gave him some kind of teaching. So there is a whole, what Vaashishtha ji talked to Ramchandra ji, or the teaching, that people have taken that particular part and written the entire book, which is called Yog Vaashishtha. Vaashishtha ji ne Bhagwan Ram ko, the teaching Vaashishtha ji gave to Bhagwan Ram is called Yog Vaashishtha. So in the Yog Vaashishtha, Bhagwan, it's a big, huge material, but Bhagwan has a question that how do I get rid of grief? Because Bhagwan is feeling the grief, because I'm sure he has gone for the Tirth Yatra and must have seen people are suffering, or there is something which is not odd in their life. And the weakness, the fear or the weakness. And third is kind of delusion people have. And he said, I'm also feeling that, because he must have gone to that. So Bhagavan says, what is the solution to that? And then exactly if we read that, I have that book, a lot of similarity between that and Bhagavad Gita. The reason is because teaching is same. It doesn't matter it is Bhagavad Gita or Guru Vashit. The teaching is nothing different. So Bhagavan Ram asked this question, how do I overcome shok, which is grief, bhai, which is weakness or fear, and moh, which is delusion. And then Vashishji give him the explanation. But if you read the explanation, it is exactly like what is given in Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah.
And it is said that after this, Bhagwan got the Atma Bodh. Basically, Atma Bodh means same, that I am Atma, not this body. That is Atma Bodh. We all think that we are the body. That's the biggest weakness. And that's why we have fear. That's the reason we have delusion. That is the reason we have grief. So all this is because we feel that we are limited human being, whereas Atma is unlimited. And actually we are, the whole teaching, whether it's Bhagavad Gita or Yoga Vashishtha, same thing Vashishji told. And at the end, Bhagwan says, yes. So, I'll read one thing, translate in, because it's Sanskrit, but translate in simple English. And Vashishji say that now you heard whatever I said. And by hearing, your doubts are gone. Exactly same thing in Arjun said, right? Nashto moh smriti labdha tat prasadatmaya. Jo aapne bola my moh. It's exactly same thing Ramji is saying. Whatever you are told, my delusion, my confusion is gone. So Vashishji say that. So here is a very quick, very beautiful. He said, whatever you hear, that is meaningful hearing if it converts into gyan. If it is not, it doesn't enhance your understanding, then that hearing is no meaning. So that's why we say Shruti. And many times we say like it is even Shrotamvyam Bhaktya. If you hear Ramayana, so Shruti is very important in a way. Or Shruti means Sunna also. Right? So hearing, when you do proper way, it becomes Gyan. Basically, it becomes your understanding. And when the Gyan is, like Gyan is not knowing. Gyan is when you realizing that whatever I hear, it becomes part of me. We call it Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam. Then you get Samata, equanimity. And Bhagavad Gita also said, equanimity is, Bhagavan says, the Yogastha Kuru Karmani Sangam Tyakta Dhananjaya Siddha Siddhyo Samo Bhutva Samatvam Yoguchyate. That equanimity is yoga. Equanimity about what? And whatever happens, it doesn't affect me. And things are not in my control. It could be this or that, but it doesn't. That is equanimity. And then he says, Vashishji is saying, right? When equanimity comes, then you get the Jagrati. Jagrati means awakening. We call it awakening in modern days, right? And what awakening is that? And the simple example he's giving in Yoga Vashisht, that when you are in deep sleep, that time we have our true nature. That we all know the definition of deep sleep. Deep sleep, I just basically I am disconnected from the body. That body identification is gone. That is deep sleep. And that's why once you are deep sleep, it is the healthiest sleep.
Correct, Sandra.
That's why we say that we should have deep sleep, because if you're deep sleep, it's a healthy sleep. So that's what Vashishji is saying, that after having this gyan, after having this awakening, you are like in Jagrat Avastha, you are in deep sleep. That's given Yoga Vashishti, but beautifully. In Jagrat Avastha, that means when you're awake, you exactly know that I am not this body. I am that Satchidanand Atma. And Bhagavan says that I got this Atma Bodh. Anyway, I brought that because this is important, that ऐसा नहीं कि भगवान आए तो, see, that's what Bhagavan is playing Leela. He told Mata, the Kausalya, that I'll play a normal boy. Don't worry. I'm not. So now he has to play like a young boy. Young boy, we have these, we all get frustration. So when he went to Tirth Yatra, he said, all problems are there. So then Vishwamitra ji says, ki now, I think Bhagwan Ram got. So now he says to Valmiki ji that I have not Valmiki. Dasharath ji said, ki, for what reason you have come here, Vishwamitra Rishi? The Rishis come, they welcome. So he says, again, same Ravan. He says that Ravan has captured the entire, this whole Bharat, whatever land that time. The Talkavan, which is close between Ayodhya and Patna, Janakpuri. There is a Talkavan, even still there, right? So they say that there is a Talkavan where there's a lady called Demon Talka, and they all like representative of Ravana. And we are doing yajna. Now, whatever yajna we are doing, we are in the final stage of that yajna. So whatever anushthan they had. But these people don't want us to complete the anushthan. And what they're doing, they are throwing the word he has used, the pieces of flesh, the mounts into our yajna, and they're breaking. So we need protection. So he says, what protection can I give you? He said, give me Ram and Lakshman. And Dasharath ji was sitting, he said, give me Ram and Lakshman. I'm here to take Ram and Lakshman. So there is beautiful. Tulsidas ji didn't describe much. He just says Valmiki ji came, and one doha he says, a little bit hesitant, Dasharath ji, and then Vashishji ji said, no, let them go. But here Valmiki ji described very well. So Dasharath ji says, oh, that's, can I send you my army? So he said no. So in fact, Dasharath ji says Ram is only 16-year-old, Ram and Lakshman, and they have never faced any demons. And that too, you're talking Ravan and the Talaka. So he says, I can send a big army. In fact, I can go myself. But can you just not take Ram? Then Vishwamitra ji doesn't like, right? And then he says that you are not fulfilling your promise. You told me that, Rishi, what you want. So anyway, so there is a whole description. So let me read a couple of this thing here. Okay, so Vashishji interject that time, and he says to Dasharath ji that I know you're worried about Ram and Lakshman, but don't worry. Vishwamitra ji is capable of. So he says, एवं वीर्यो महातेजा विश्वामित्रो महायशाः न रामगमने राजन् संशयं गन्तुम् अर्हसि. He says Vishwamitra is capable of stopping them himself. But look at that. He has come for a purpose. He's asking, so it is a benefit in the benefit of Ram, actually, or Lakshman. So because he wants to give them training also. That's why he's here. So Dasharath ji, give your, like, the moh, your attachment to Ram, Lakshman. Don't worry about your kids, let them go. And then he agrees. So Bhagwan Ram and Lakshman goes with Valmiki. So now the journey starts. So first time Bhagwan Ram and Lakshmanji are out, right? So now the Ramayana, which we call it. So Vashishji gave that understanding to Ramji, that you should not be deluded. You're not a limited human being, like typically he's in human form. And Vishwamitraji taught him all other sadhanas. And we'll see, there is a whole description of, so one of the description that it is written that Vishwamitraji taught them Sandhya Vandanam. Sandhya Vandanam is Gayatri Jap 3 times and doing puja. So it is, and then there used to be a mantra called Bala and Ati Bala. And I was reading, I also did some research. Those mantras are not available because maybe they are not recorded that time. So, but I personally feel they're as powerful as like Gayatri Mantra. Gayatri Mantra is still available to us, fortunately. Not many months, because of the Shruti Parampara, we lost some of them. But Gayatri Mantra is still available. Good, we continued that. So, Balati. So, he taught them a lot of mantra. And the power of mantra is when we chant mantra. Basically, by definition, Manana Trayateti mantra. Anything which protects my consciousness or my mind or myself, basically. That's a mantra. So he taught them a lot of mantra. There is a Balati Bala. And then, then he says that after doing all this mantra, chanting and sadhana, there is a shlok. Etad vidya dvaye labdhe na bhavet sadrashastava bala ati bala cheva sarva jnanasya mataro. By chanting, see, there is a process in our Hindu tradition that whatever number of syllables in the mantra, if you chant those many times, like those many lakhs, basically 100,000, that 100,000 times of that syllable, for example, 24 syllables, 24 lakhs. If you do the mantra becomes siddh. So Valmiki ji is saying, once you have done siddhi of that mantra, or basically by chanting mantra with understanding, we get the power of that mantra. That's what he says. Then nothing will impact you. The fear will go away, and you will move fearlessly, harmlessly. That's what. So he taught a lot of them, and that may be the purpose, because Vishwamitraji realized that Ram and Lakshman have to do many more, because Ravana has not come yet, Sitaji. But that's what. So that is the training. So Vashishji trained him on academic and those things, and Vishwamitraji trained him on the warfare and other things, right? So then they move forward. So now Vishwamitraji is saying, taking them to Tadkavan. Now they go to Tadkavan. So Tadka, like, that is a lady. So Vishwamitraji says that here you are here, Tadka, and then Marich and Subahu are Tadka's son. All these are troubling. We hear all the time those stories. So you have to kill them. So there is one incident here. So Tadka was a lady, and Vishwamitraji told Ramji that here is Tadka, you have to kill her. So Ramchandraji, typically Kshatriya has a training that you don't like attack a lady, because that's not supposed to do. Kshatriya is not supposed to attack ladies, right? So Ramchandraji is hesitant here, that Tadka is a lady, right? So then there is a shlok Vishwamitra. See, that was the Guru Parampara training, right? And he said, Nahi te stri vadkrate grana karya narottama chaturvarna hitartham hi kartavyam raj sununa. You should not think this as a stri. She's a Rakshasi. So that's what, if you read Bhagavad Gita also, that's what Bhagavan telling Arjun. Here it is not Bhishma Pitama. It is not Dronacharya. They are standing with Adharma. So now you have to look not as a person in relation, you look what dharma and what adharma is. So same thing he is saying here, that it is not about stri hatya, it is not about killing a lady. It is all about what this personality is doing. Because dharma is beyond gender. Dharma is not for the gender. So one is saying, now the kartavya is that I brought you here and you promise, your father promised, that we are going to protect us. And she is stopping us to do that. And then Bhagwan says, okay, so Bhagwan killed Talaka, and we know the story, Talaka. So after this, Vishwamitra ji wanted to confirm. We'll stop here, we'll do our chant, right? So Vishwamitra ji asked Bhagwan Ram that, Ram, can you tell me, after I taught you all this mantra and all sadhana and you killed Talka, what is the goal of your life? Very beautiful shlok. I mean, that shlok is written on my desk. I read it every time. Even in my children class, I tell them just memorize this shlok. And I ask all the time. Beautiful shlok. It's a motto of life of anyone like us. So Bhagwan Vishwamitra ji asked what is the goal of your life? So Bhagwan Ram gives a shlok here. Go sadhu hitathaya deshasya cha hitaya cha. It is from Balkand. Tava cheva aprameyasya vachanam kartum udyata. And he is saying that whatever instruction you will give, I'll follow. For what? It's not that blindly I'm following Guru's instruction. For what? He says, and we saw like every time Bhagwan is like Dharmanisht or Dharmadhi or Lok Sangraha, like that. So Bhagwan says, Go sadhu hitaya itarthaya. Go means not just cow, animal, the environment. Sadhu, the people, innocent people. Hitarthaya, for their benefit, for their well-being. Deshasya hitaya, and the desh, which the land which I belong to here, like that, whatever that time is the Bharatvarsh, or whatever this society given to which I belong to. वचनम कर्तुम उद्यत, और आपने जो वचन लिया है मुझसे करोगे, कर्तुम उद्यत, आई एम ईगर टू डू दैट, and that is the purpose of my life. A very beautiful shlok. I always say that we should read the shlok multiple times. Go sadhu hitathaya deshasya hitaya cha tav cheva aprameyasya, means aprameya means you are the great Mahatma. Your vachan I gave you, right? Kartum adyat. आपने मुझे बोला है, इसलिए I am ready to do that. Arjun said at the end of the Bhagavad Gita, Karishye vachanam tava. I'll do what you say, Bhagavan, now. I got the enlightenment. Exactly same is saying that. I got that understanding, and I can. So with this, it's like, and then there are further few more things. And we'll say next time we'll meet and we'll go further now. So they are moving. Look at this now. If you can imagine today's India, they are moving from Ayodhya. So they're going towards, went to Talka one, if you look at today's geography, and Talka is between Ayodhya and Patna. So they are moving. So Valmiki ji is taking them, and in there is a Siddha ashram comes, and Ganga, there is a Shonabhadra river. Even now today is there. We call it Son river. Many times Sonabhadra, yeah, Shonabhadra. So Saryu and then Shonabhadra, and they meet. Shonabhadra meets Ganga. So they reach to a place where there is a Siddha ashram. Even today it is there. And there is a like meeting point of Shonabhadra and Ganga kind of thing. So Bhagwan Ram, next time we'll see that. So Bhagwan see that Ganga, and Bhagwan Ram asks a question, can you tell me the significance of Ganga? And look at that. This is the purpose Vishwamitra ji wanted to take them. That's why they went to Darshat, and Vaashishtha ji encouraged, let them go. They're going to learn. And this is the way, even today, and old time, this is the way we teach itihas to future generations. We should. The senior people and the gurus, acharyas have a duty to teach itihas also along with the values. We saw that. People, place, principles, and personalities. That is itihas. So that's what, so Vishwamitra ji, while taking them, just not for killing Talka or demons, wo to ho gaya. Now he's telling them the places historical. So Bhagavan asked, I see this Ganga, so can you tell me the significance of Ganga? And next time we'll meet, we'll see. So Bhagavan Vishwamitra ji is going to tell how Ganga came to, and then he'll tell this, all your ancestors, Bhagirath was your ancestor. He brought Ganga. That's why we call it Bhagirathi. And we'll talk about Bhagirath next time when we meet, right? So, and then after Bhagirath, then they will move to Janakpuri. And we'll see. So Janakpuri, there is already, we all know that there is a Dhanush Yagya is going on. And it was the talk of the town, maybe talk of the country. So Vishwamitra ji is going to say, we'll see that, right? Let's go and see that Dhanush Yagya also. and we'll see next time. So next time we'll meet, we'll do that. So now what we'll do, we'll just chant same again, Ram Nam, because it is very important. It is not just about reading about, because Ram Nam has enormous power. I mean, we all know that, right? It is one of the best mantra also. You can see my screen, right? And I hope you can read. This is my handwriting. It's not too bad.
I
So we'll chant this and then do Bhagwan's dhyan. The word we have to we use do, but we don't do. We just chant Bhagwan's dhyan, naam with chitta shuddhi, and it becomes dhyan. So I always want to make sure that we don't do dhyan. We have a chitta shuddha chitta with the purified mind. When Bhagwan's name comes, just imagine like is that if you open the windows and there is a wind, beautiful wind blowing outside, when you open the windows, all the wind come inside, and we'll feel the room is full of like wind and basically oxygen, like healthy. Same thing, our consciousness. If we can imagine our consciousness, it has so much of junk during the day and all life, like many births, we have collected that junk in our consciousness. So what Ram Nam does, Chitta Shuddhi means, of course, Shravanam, Mananam, all what food style, everything, Bhagavad Gita, 14th chapter. So if you follow that, then there is a Chitta Shuddhi. And that time when we do Bhagwan's name, consciousness is full of that name, which is Ram. So in this case, it's a beautiful mantra, two akshar. There's nothing we have to do to remember this. Like other shloka or mantra, you have to do something, Ram. So when we do Ram Nam chant, it is our consciousness full of Ram now. And that itself is dhyan. There is no separate dhyan. We'll chant this and just bring Bhagwan into our consciousness, right? Ram Ram Jaya
Jaya
Sita.
Sita Ram, Ram
Ram Ram
Ram
Jaya
Jaya
Raja.
Sita
शब्द ब्रह्म परात्पर
Paratpar
राम.
Ram,
कालात्मक
Advaita
परमेश्वर
Parameshwara
राम.
Ram,
कौशल्या सुखवर्धन राम. श्रीमत दशरथ नंदन राम.
Ram,
शबरी दत्त
Bhakta Sita
प्रभाषण राम.
Ram,
हनुमत सेवित निज पद राम.
Ram,
हस्तलोक को धारक राम.
Ram, Ram, Ram
न
Jaya Ram,
तत्पर राम. धर्म स्थापन तत्पर राम. राम राम जय सीता राम.
Ram,
राम
Ram
राम
Ram
जय
Jaya
राजा
Raja
राम.
Ram.
So this Ram Nam is complete Ramayana, whole story of Bhagwan Ram's life. But when we do this, now what we'll do, we'll just do Panchattu Dhyan, which is a cognitive behavior therapy in modern terms. But it is the same thing because our whatever amount of reading I do, still these indriyas, they go out, they go out. Bhagavan Ram, the same thing. Yoga Vashishtha, he's saying that after going around, I'm seeing that what is happening is my mind is going outside. I'm just missing the whole center, and that is the sadhana. So what we'll do, it is like simple. Take a couple of deep breath, and we can say at least one time "Oh."
Om.
Now keep the focus on the tip of the nostril and bring image of Prathvi Tattva. Prathvi means the first gross element, and that is also Bhagavan Swarup, but the grossest Swarup. So bring image of Prathvi Tattva, keep the focus on the tip of the nostril. Because through nostrils we smell. Smell is a representation of Prathvi. Now shift focus with tip of the tongue, bring image of next element is Jal, which is Varuna Devata for us. So keep the focus on the tip of the tongue and bring image of Jal Tattva in mind. Could be river, fountain, Ganga, whatever, right? And this time, if you keep the focus on the tip of the tongue, we can feel the juice there. Because through rasana, that's why it is rasana, we interact with ras jal. Now the next element is Agni. So Surya Bhagwan is the best representation of Agni. So keep the focus on the eyes. Through eyes we see that energy or Agni and bring image of Surya Bhagwan. The focus on eyes and the image of Surya Bhagwan. Now the next element, next tattva is Vayu. Vayu we don't see, we don't hear, we can only feel Vayu on skin. Tvacha. Tvacha is the Indriya. So keep the focus on skin and feel Vayu. Actually, if we are sitting inside the room, we can feel Vayu. If we sit for a few more minutes, keep the focus on skin, we can feel Vayu. Even for a few seconds, you can feel, right? The next element is Akash. We cannot see Akash, we cannot feel. The only way we know Akash is sound travels in Akash, space. So space, to feel space, you have to hear some sound through ears. So ear is the sense organ. So when we hear sound, we know that sound travels in space. So there is a space around me and the same space in me. All these elements are inside me. So when we're doing this Panchatattva Dhyan Vidhi or sadhan, slowly the senses slows down. And when the senses slow down, the mind will quieten down because mind gets feed from these senses. And these senses are inward. And if those who practice, who has read Patanjali Yoga Sutra, Patanjali has used a beautiful word for this is pratyahar. Pratyahar means indriyas are coming inward. Their tendency is always to go outward and mind follows them. Now look at when these senses are stopped coming inward, that is called pratyahar. They're coming in. The mind has nothing now. It will quiet down. So at this time, you can observe the mind, almost no thoughts. There can be some lingering thoughts. And now this time, here is Ram-Dham. So just take a deep breath. Ram. 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 So if you have more time, we keep doing that and then slowly say the Ram in mind, which is ajapa jap, and it happens. Even if I'm not japping, jap happens. That means my consciousness, my antahkaran is full of Ram. And our rishis have called that state Tattvamasi. You are that. At that time, there is no Bhakt or Bhagavan, there is only one. Everything is Ram. Om Shanti Shanti. Shri Ram Lakshman Janaki Jai Bolo.
Jai Bolo Hanuman ki.
So next week we don't have session because there is first 3 Mondays and then we'll meet after that, right? So that will be May 7th. Oh, May 4th, sorry. May 4th. So we continue on May 4th. And that's it. So we continue to keep Bhagwan Ram in the mind. That's it. Nothing better than Bhagwan Ram. Like that. So yeah, and we'll continue next time. जनकपुरी में भगवान जी सीता जी के दर्शन होंगे हम लोगों को. Yeah. See.
धन्यवाद धन्यवाद
जय श्री राम.
जय श्री राम
Namaste.
Yes.
Thank you.